Hello, Lili here. Today we are starting with Class 3, Chapter 10 of your science textbook. And the name of the chapter is Stars, Planets, and the Moon. Stepping Stones. Draw the shape of the moon that you have seen in the sky during these festivals. In Dasera, we have full moon. In Muharram, we have crescent moon. In Baisakhi, we have EVS moon. And in Mahavir Jayanti, we have half moon. Do the stars look the same on all these festivals? Yes. During daytime, we see the sun in the sky. At night, we can see the moon and many stars. Let us discover more about these amazing things in the sky. Stars. On a clear night, we can see uncountable stars twinkling in the sky. Stars are huge balls of burning gases. They produce heat and light of their own. They are very far from us. That is why they look like speaks of lights in the night sky. The sun is also a star. It is the closest star to the earth. That is why it appears so big. It is made up of hot gases. Some stars appear to form different patterns or designs in the sky. These groups of stars are called constellations. Constellations have been named after animals or mythical people. Ursa Major, also known as the Great Bear, and Orion, the Great Hunter, are two famous constellations in the sky. They can be seen easily on a clear night. Wonder Box. The surface of the sun is nearly 55 times hotter than the surface of boiling water. Remember, the sun is about 500,000 kilometers away from us. Sunlight takes about 8 minutes and 30 seconds to travel from the sun to the earth. This is the constellation of Ursa Major and this is the constellation of Orion. Planets. Planets are huge round objects that go round the sun. The 8 planets in our solar system are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. We live on a planet named as the Earth. The Sun and the Earth, 8 planets together form the solar system. This is the picture of solar system. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun, while Neptune is the farthest planet from it. Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system. Mercury is the smallest planet. Venus is the hottest and Neptune is the coldest planet in the solar system. Some planets appear to shine brightly in the night sky just like stars. However, planets do not have their own light. They get light from the sun. The sunlight that falls on the planets is thrown back. Thus, the sunshine makes the planets glow. The sun is at the center of the solar system. All the planets move around in it in their own fixed paths called orbits. Remember, this is the trick to remember the order of planets around the sun. My very enthusiastic mother just served us noodles. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Wonder Box. The closest planet to the sun is neither the hottest planet nor the brightest planet in the night sky. The Moon. The moon is the closest neighbor of the Earth in the sky. It is the natural satellite of the Earth. A satellite is an object that revolves around a planet. The moon is the natural satellite of the Earth. The moon takes about 28 days to complete one revolution around the Earth. The moon also spins or rotates on its own axis. The moon completes one revolution in about the same time that it takes to complete a rotation about its axis. The moon does not have its own light. It gets light from the sun. The light is thrown back to the Earth as moonlight. The shape of the moon changes every night. We can see only the part of the moon which is lit by the sun. Due to the rotation and revolution of the moon, the positions of the moon keep changing. As a result, the part of the moon visible to us also keeps changing. Thus, it appears that the moon changes its shape during that time. The different shapes of the sunlight portion of the moon are called phases of the moon. Remember, the moon is about 400,000 kilometers away from the Earth. Moonlight takes nearly 1 light second to travel from the moon to the Earth. As you can see here is the phases of the moon: new moon, crescent moon, half moon, gibbous moon, and full moon. New moon. When the moon is between the sun and the earth, the side of the moon that faces the earth does not get any sunlight. So, the moon is not visible from earth. This phase of the moon is known as new moon. Crescent moon. After 3 days of the new moon, we can see a small part of the moon. This stage is called the crescent moon. Get it right. During the new moon, we cannot see the moon in the sky. Half moon. After 7 days of the new moon, we can see half of the moon. This stage is called the half moon. Gibbous moon. After 10 days of the new moon, we can see more than half of the moon. This is called the gibbous moon. Full moon. After 14 days of the new moon, the moon reaches the opposite side of the earth. In this position, the entire side of the moon that faces the earth gets sunlight. The shape of the moon is entirely visible from the earth. This is called the full moon. The time interval between the 2 full moons is about 29 days. Timeline. 4.5 billion years ago, a giant object collided with the Earth. After the collision, the debris formed the moon. 5th century BCE. Babylonian astronomers were the first to study and mapped the first lunar cycle. In 1647, the first map was made to show liberation zones of the moon. In 1959, the Soviet Union's lunar program was the first to get a man-made object to escape Earth's gravity. It impacted the surface of the moon. In 1961, the first Apollo missions were created by John F. Kennedy in 1961. Its goal was to have man on the moon, and in 1969, Neil Armstrong being the first human to ever step foot on the moon. Now, know your scientists. Professor Stephen Hawking was one of the best-known physicists and cosmologists. He wrote the book A Brief History of Time, which explains the structure, origin, and evolution of the universe. Remember, astronomers are scientists who study about the celestial objects present far away in the sky. The sun, the moon, the planets, and the stars are known as celestial objects. Run through. Stars are the huge balls of burning gases. They produce heat and light of their own. Groups of stars that appear to form different patterns or designs in the sky are called constellations. Planets are huge round objects that go around the sun. The sun and the 8 planets together form the solar system. A natural object that goes around a planet is called natural satellite. The moon is the natural satellite of the Earth. The different shapes of the moon are called phases of the moon. Track your progress. 1. Fill in the blanks. A. Stars produce heat and light of their own. B. It takes about 28 days for the moon to complete one revolution. C. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. D. The moon is the closest neighbor of the Earth. And E. During new moon, the moon is not seen from the Earth. Glossary. Constellations. Groups of stars that appear to form different patterns or designs in the sky. Orbits. The fixed paths followed by the planets while moving around the sun. Planets. Objects that move around the sun in their own orbits. And solar system. The sun and the 8 planets that move around in it, their fixed orbits. Now, assessment zone. A. Tick the correct answer. 1. How many planets are there in the solar system? 8. 2. How many days does the moon take to complete one circle around the Earth? 28 days. 3. Which of the following does not produce light of its own? Moon. 4. Suppose there will be full moon on September 14, 2019. On which day the next full moon will occur? On October 30. 5. Which of the following is a planet? Saturn. Fill in the blanks using the words given in the box. So the words are Earth, Ursa Major, Sun, 10, and Mercury. 1. The Sun is the closest star to the Earth. 2. The gibbous moon can be seen after 10 days of the new moon. 3. The moon is the natural satellite of the Earth. 4. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun. 5. Ursa Major is also known as the Great Bear. State true or false. 1. The moon spins on its own axis. True. 2. Neptune is the farthest planet from the Sun. True. 3. The moon produces its own moonlight. False. 4. Moon is not visible on new moon night. True. And last one, the gibbous moon can be seen after 3 days of the new moon. False. Unscramble the words. Number 1 is planet. Number 2 is Orion. Number 3 is Jupiter. Number 4 is crescent moon. And number 5 is orbit. The question and answers we will refer to the notebook. And here at the bottom of the page, language. The sun is known by different names in different languages. Find these out in the following languages. In French, the sun is called Soleil. In Hindi, Suraj. Spanish, Sol. And German, Sonne. Now, question number 1 of chapter 10. Define a natural satellite. Give one example of a natural satellite. Answer. A natural object that goes around a planet is called natural satellite. Example, the moon is the natural satellite of the earth. 2. Why does the shape of the moon change? Answer. Due to the rotation and revolution of the moon, the positions of the moon keeps changing. Thus, it appears that the moon changes its shape during that time. Number 3. What are constellations? Give 2 examples. Answer. Groups of stars that appear to form different patterns or designs in the sky are called constellations. Examples: Ursa Major and Orion. Question number 4. Why does the sun appear bigger than any other star? It is the closest star to the earth, thus it appears bigger than any other star. 5. Define the term faces of the moon. Draw a diagram to show all the faces of the moon. Answer. The different shapes of the moon are called faces of the moon, and for drawing the diagram, please look at page 94 of the course book. Number 6. What makes up the solar system? Name the planets of the solar system. Answer. The Sun and the 8 planets together form the solar system. The 8 planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Question number 7. What is a planet? Why do some planets glow in the night? Answer. Planets are huge round objects that go around the Sun. The planets do not have their own light. They get light from the Sun, thus they glow in the night. And the last question is, differentiate between EVS moon and crescent moon. Answer. After 10 days of the new moon, we can see more than half of the moon. This is called the EVS moon. And after 3 days of the new moon, we can see a small part of the moon. This stage is called a crescent moon. Now, we will come to the workbook. Worksheet number 1. Fill in the blanks using the words given in the box. The words are Neptune, Sun, Star, 8, and Venus. Number 1. The Sun is a star. Number 2. There are 8 planets in our solar system. Number 3. Neptune is the farthest planet from the Sun. 4. Venus is the hottest planet. And 5. Sun is the closest star to the Earth. Now match the following. Sun, star, planet, Mercury, orbit, fixed path, group of stars, constellation, and solar system, sun and planets. Unscramble the words, name of the planets. Number 1 is Earth, then Saturn, Uranus, Mercury, and Jupiter. Draw and label the solar system. Please refer to page number 93 of your course book. Worksheet number 2. State whether the following are true or false. Number 1. Moon is very far from the Earth. False. Number 2. Moon does not have its own light. True. Number 3. After 3 days of new moon, we see half moon. False. Number 4. We can see full moon every day. False. Number 5. The time between the 2 full moons is 29 days. True. Give one word for the following. 1. It is an object that revolves around a planet. Satellite. 2. It is the natural satellite of the Earth. Moon. We see the stage of the moon after 7 days of new moon, half moon. The stage of moon more than half but less than full is EVS, and time taken by moon to complete one revolution is 28 days. Answer the following questions. Number 1. Why does the sun appear so big whereas the other stars do not? The sun is the closest star to the earth, that is why it appears so big. Number 2. What is new moon? When the moon is between the sun and the earth, the side of the moon that faces the earth does not get any sunlight, so the moon is not visible from the earth. This phase of the moon is known as new moon. And explain the position of full moon. After 14 days of the new moon, it reaches the opposite side of the earth. In this position, the entire side of the moon that faces the earth gets sunlight, and the shape of it is entirely visible from the earth. This is called the full moon. Worksheet number 3. Choose the correct answer. Which planet is closest to the sun? Mercury. Number 2. Which heavenly body is present at the center of the solar system? Sun. Number 3. Earth is the third planet from the sun. 4. To move in a circle around an object is to revolve. 5. About how long does it take for the moon to revolve around the earth? 1 month. And identify the phases of moon. Number 1 is half moon, 2nd is EVS moon, 3 is crescent, 4 is new moon, and 5 is full moon. Find the name of 8 planets in the word grid given below. They are Mercury, Earth, Saturn, Uranus, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and Neptune. So if you enjoyed my video, please do like, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching.